Don't wander far. We need to talk.
Ah! You found your way. Good. I thought I'd scout ahead, check for any nasty surprises, of which I found a great deal. Shades, death, harpers, flaming fist, and this, of course, and the makings of an alchemist's workbench. Ingredients, too. There's a recipe I'm trying to replicate. Something that might help you. That is, if you're still going to help Wulbren and the others. In that case, you'll be very pleased to learn what I have in store for you. A new type of smoke powder. All the bang and boom of the original, but with an extra surprise. I call it the Brilliant Retort. You'll need it if you're going to survive this cursed place. You'll need it if you're going to get into Moonrise Towers and help the Deep Gnomes taken prisoner there. You'll need it if you're going to save Wulbren. Let's call a thing a thing. A Deep Gnome won't get far into the Absolute's orgy of evil. We already learned that in the Underdark with those sadistic Dwergar, didn't we? It's doubly true in this place. You, on the other hand, have proven resourceful in such infiltrations. I'll do my part according to my talents. And you, I hope, will do yours. The Brilliant Retort will aid you. Thus, I will make it. Unless you've got access to a 300-year-old Tempusian apothecarial almanac? No. But that's for me to worry about. You do whatever it is you do. Some of us are counting on you.
Maybe not, Mum.
No, never mind.
Why would anyone keep such neurotic creatures as pets?
Come on, let's go.
Hiss! I say hiss! And yet you harm me by your very presence. This is my territory, and you're in it. I'll allow it. I slinked, of course. Good of you to notice. For my part, I have noticed the cleric is a liar. She promised me a bit of milk. Do you see any milk, do you? Nor do I. Disgraceful. You've had enough. Now go. Quickly. Yes.
All's well that ends not as bad as it could have.
Your move, Maul.
You trapped me? I didn't even want to take this one.
Kalimshan rules, dear. The first piece touched is the first piece moved.
That's garbage! No matter where the night goes, I'm gonna lose it!
Then make the sacrifice useful. Guard your Mistra, or come for my Cyric.
What's going on here?
Look who made it! For once, I saved your butt out there, didn't I? We're square now, Chief. Say, do you play lance ball by any chance? It's my first time playing.
The keen gleam in Moll's eyes reveals the lie. She knows the game well, and she wants to win.
I see that glint in your eyes. You've a strategy in mind, the same one as me, I'd wager. Exactly what I was about to suggest.
My, the Thescan double counter gambit. Vicious. Exactly what I would have done.
How's that for Kalimshan rules?
Brava. Lovely work. I see I was right to make you the offer I did. You will consider it, won't you? What a lovely specimen she is. A blushing apple begging to be plucked.
Please let me smack this creep.
The Thescan move suggestion was inspired. I had no idea you played. Don't I? Indeed. But don't you worry about Moll. It goes without saying she still has the unconditional freedom to choose the only option she has left. Besides, I do enjoy being in this neighborhood again. It has such a rich history of abject tragedy. And tragedy, my friend, well, there's my bread and bloody butter. Why spoil it? It's all out there, waiting to be discovered. You never know what you might find if you just dig a little deeper. She won. She has a taste for it now. She'll be the one who comes to me. But enough about my lesser pursuits. Why bother with trifles when I'm in the illustrious presence of my very favorite client? Tell me, oh apple of my eye, how have you been? You don't have any gills to get green around yet, but you do look a little worse for wear in this light. All in good time, dear. See you soon.
Patrols report more activity among the
Please.
cultists.
Be welcome. Have a drink. To your very good health.
You perceive a faint hint of cloth grass, a herb that is said to elicit the truth. Jahira smiles at you knowingly.
It doesn't spoil the taste, if that's what you're wondering. You know more of the herb than I do, it seems. Except for how it tastes, perhaps. Bottoms up. Well over a century old, and yet it hasn't lost a hint of flavor. Still not quite so sure about you, though. People tend to lose more than just flavor when illithids get their hands on them. I speak from experience. There's an air about you. Something alien. Answer me true and do not lie. The parasite is changing you, isn't it? Good. I will take your word for it. And hold you to it, too. I have every reason to be cautious. I've traced people like you. People with parasites in their brains. All the way here from Baldur's Gate. The cult of the Absolute is spreading through the city. Quietly, quickly, and with unsettling deliberation. We tracked them to this ancient village, only to be faced with a man we killed and buried over a century ago. It seems likely, which means he isn't working alone. He was a Sharan once. Took to building an army of dark justiciars beneath this very village. Alongside the local druids, we made it our business to see him deposed, dead and buried. But he's returned. Not only does General Ketherick Thorm live again, it seems he is no longer mortal. He has become, in fact, invincible. We met him on the road here, commanding an army of the Absolute, intent on destroying Baldur's Gate. I put an arrow through his eye myself, only to watch him pluck it out like a splinter. He healed right in front of me and chased us into the shadows. Things looked hopeless, but experience has taught me that no matter how bleak things look, there's always hope. You are that hope. There is only one outcome that interests me. Killing Ketherick Thorm and ensuring that it sticks this time. Protected by your artifact, you can infiltrate his forces at Moonrise Towers, posing as a true soul. Find out what it is that makes him invincible, so we can strip him of his advantage. Once Ketherick is without his shield, the sword, together we assault his tower and put a final end to this blight. You're the only one who can get inside the towers. You were born for this mission. Or made for it, rather. Besides, you need this. You need to heal yourself of your infection. Any cure starts with understanding the disease. Whatever magic Ketherick's using to control these tadpoles, it must be at Moonrise. Until then, we keep drinking wine when we meet. You're not our only secret weapon. Isobel, a faithful cleric of Selûne, and a light in the darkness. She cast the moon shield around the inn. It's the only reason we're still alive. She's upstairs in her chambers. Tell her I sent you, and she'll see you through the shadows safely.
Thought you'd be 10 yards tall the way Zevlor spoke of you. Sereth, Scout. Seems we missed one another at the Grove, but the others told me how you helped us. A pity. You pulled them from one death trap, only for me to land them in this one. Gone. And more than half the others with him. We were ambushed, out in the cursed lands. Cultists of this Absolute. Zevlor froze. Begged us to surrender. But they were toying with us. Making examples. And we'd had enough of taking it. Those of us who cut free just kept running till we found this place. The others... Maybe the cult got them. Maybe the curse. Zevlor had hope. It didn't save him. A little sense will serve us better, I think. But... thanks. It was sweet of you to try.
You're all right. Thank goodness. I was worried they'd got you too. I keep replaying it. Over and over in my head. They lined us up like dogs. Asherak was with the kids, telling them it was going to be all right. Maybe that's why they picked him. Told him to kneel. They took his eyes first. Then his tongue. Some of us fought back. Or tried to. But it was hopeless. All I could do was run. That means a lot, coming from you. You always seem to take everything in your stride. How do you do it? How do you keep going? You make it sound so easy. But I'll try. You've done so much for us already. But I have to ask. The others might still be out there. If they're not dead, they're in Moonrise. And gods have mercy on anyone in that hell's pit. Thank you. If anyone can manage it, you can. Just be careful up there, all right? I can't handle anyone else dying.
Perimeter's clear, Mom. Good. We'll leave soon, and we don't want any surprises. Yes, Mom.
Nice strategy back there. If we put our heads together, I bet you and me can make a tidy stack of coin in Baldur's Gate. But Raphael's offered me a partnership already, and it seems like a sweeter deal than throwing my lot in with you.
No, kid. No.
You aren't joking. Oh, I kind of believe him more now than I did a minute ago. Protection for me and my kids, that's all.
Her smile is broad, her eyes twinkling, her face the very picture of innocence. She's clearly lying.
But I haven't accepted nothing yet. Sounds like you're in deeper than I am. What I said! That he'd get me and my gang safely to Baldur's Gate. And also, when we get there, I'd be head of the Thieves' Guild. Easy for you to say. You can do what you want, go where you want. My kids need protecting, and I'm gonna protect them. Look, you saved us. Not knocking that. But after you left, Zevlor lost his nerve. Gave up the fight. I won't. Now there's no grove, no coin, no one taking us to the city. I'm not letting my crew get eaten by shadows. Maybe I'll make a deal, maybe I won't. But it'll be my choice, not the devil's, and not yours.
One of the worst things about getting old. Watching kids make the same exact mistakes you made, and knowing there's absolutely nothing you can say to change their mind. Then again, Mol's a hell of a lot smarter than I was at that age. Maybe she'll figure it out. True enough. She'll go far in the city. We've just got to get her there safely.
Can't keep me out.
Patrols report more activity among the cultists now. Preparing to march, I wager. Seems that way.
That might be worth it. We're a long way from Waterdeep.
No time to rest?
Can't. If you have an alternative in mind.
Hiding place is bright.
He still won't speak. Just keeps going with the bloody song.
Nothing of use on his person.
His original writ of duty, signed by Eltan himself. Fella must be one of the very first Flaming Fist.
He must know something. Let's not give up on him yet. We believe the cultists have taken Duke Ravengard to Moonrise Towers. I don't suppose you found a way in. Isabel cleared this place, and he just appeared. We think he's staying at the inn when the curse fell, which means he's been trapped inside for a century. It beggars belief he's alive at all. Hopefully, he'll come round. Tell us something useful about getting through the shadows. Right now, he seems to have little more to him than a refrain from some song or other. Wouldn't we all? I'm not even sure he's fully conscious, but feel free to say hello. Maybe a new face will inspire him. Unfortunately, I won't be here when he comes around. I'm heading to Baldur's Gate to seek reinforcements. The Council sent a carrier pigeon with news that the city has been dealing with absolutist attacks. The Steel Watch is holding strong. I'll request that Lord Gortash send some of them to aid in the fight against Moonrise. The curse won't harm them.
Holy shit. That's my old boss. The guy who sold me to Zariel.
You know the name Gortash, a councillor with considerable influence on Baldurian industry and politics. But he is no lord.
The Steel Watch are the future of warfare. Gondian automatons that can be sent into battle without risking any lives. Except those of our enemies. Lord Gortash had only completed work on the prototypes before Ravengard and I left for Elturel, but even they were formidable. With the Steel Watch at our backs, we can storm the tower whatever Ketheric throws at us, I'm sure of it. I'll do my best, but there's every chance I'll fall to the curse or the cult before I reach the city. Don't count on me and assume no aid is coming. Work with Jaheira. That Harper's mind is as sharp as her blade. Follow her guidance. Farewell. We'll meet again, God's willing.
Flame Colour. That's your name, isn't it? Art Colour? I'm Fistula.
Nathaniel and me are climbing up a tree.
We need you, sir. One of our own's been taken, a Grand Duke. You might know something that could help us bring him back. We found him out in the shadows, just wandering. Nothing survives out there for long. Don't know how he made it, or where he came from.
This is no physical ailment. It is a spiritual malaise. The man's mind has been gripped by the Shadowfell, yet it has not broken.
If you know how to get through to him, don't hesitate.
He spent a long time in the Shadowfell, a Sharan realm without color or light. It's had a terrible effect on him.
His mind lingers in the Shadowfell, but perhaps it can be returned. We need to remind him who he is. Some personal effects, maybe.
Lost in the shadows all this time. He must have left some part of himself behind. Something we can use.
His fingertips sport calluses and toughened skin, as if from manual labor, or playing a stringed instrument, perhaps.
This was in his pocket. He doesn't seem to have any reaction to it now, but he held on to it for 100 years anyway. If he does, he isn't sane.
Some parchment there. Looks official.
Daniel and me do just what we please together, waiting for the sun forever. Monsters snuffling and stalking in our shade.
So he was at the House of Healing. Wonder what he found.
Monsters snuffling and stop.
No, not till I met Art anyway. It seems to be all he remembers. Thank you.
So Gortash is a lord now. I'd like to clap eyes on this steel watch of his. I never really told you the story of me and Gortash, did I? Let me set the stage. The year, Tenir. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Gortash. I respected him so much at the time. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. I never found out what Gortash got in exchange. This is the kind of man who gets a title. Authority. Makes me sick. Oh, the city. Baldur's Gate. Home. I can almost taste it, you know. Not even Gortash can spoil that.
Safe till the end.